There are 3 lawnmower engines sitting on the shelves of every big box store in America right now, and I will not let one of them into my shop unless it comes in on a trailer as scrap. The strange part is that these 3 are the best sellers. The engines people buy the most are the exact ones dying the fastest, and the reason has nothing to do with bad luck. So which 3 are they, and what do you look for instead? Last Saturday morning, a man named Dale backed his truck up to my shop door with a riding mower in the bed. Nice-looking machine. Clean deck, good tires. 26 months old. He bought it new for $1,900, and it quit on him halfway through his front yard with a sound he described as a hammer hitting a coffee can. I pulled the plug, turned the flywheel by hand, and I knew before I even opened it up. I have heard that sound maybe 200 times. The engine was done. Not hurt. Done. The repair quote was more than the mower was worth used, and Dale stood there in my parking lot doing the math out loud like a man reading his own eviction notice. My name is Alex. Folks around here call me Alex the Mower. I've been fixing small engines for 31 years, first in my father's shop and now in my own, and I want to tell you something I am almost embarrassed to admit. 11 years ago, I bought one of these 3 engines myself. I knew engines. I fixed them every single day, and I still walked into the store, looked at the price tag, read the sticker on the cowling that promised me something wonderful, and rolled it out to my truck feeling smart. It lasted 3 seasons. 3. The mower my father bought in 1988 is still running behind my shop right now. The one I bought with 30 years of experience, the one I checked and babied and stored dry every winter, went to the scrap pile before my daughter finished middle school. 2 mowers, 1 shop, and the old one buried the new one. That is what these engines do. They fool the beginners and they fool the experts, because the problem is not printed anywhere on the box. Quick word before I go further. The old methods my family uses, there is more of it than fits in any one video. I gathered the whole of it into a book you can buy in our pinned comment below. The book is the long version. If you want it, it is there. I will not mention it again. Now here is the question that should be bothering you, because it bothered me for years. How does a mower built in 1988, with none of the modern materials and none of the modern engineering, outlive a mower built 26 months ago by a factor of 10? The companies did not forget how to build engines. The engineers did not get dumber. Something else happened, and once you see it, you will never shop for a mower the same way again. Here is the thing almost nobody understands about how mowers are made. The company whose name is on the deck almost never builds the engine. The deck maker goes shopping for engines the same way you shop for groceries, except they buy 40,000 at a time, and the single most important number in that meeting is the per unit cost. If one engine supplier can shave $11 off the price of each engine, that supplier wins the contract, and 40,000 mowers roll out with that engine bolted on top. $11. That is the margin your engine was chosen on. Not durability, not repair records, not what mechanics like me see coming through the door. $11 a unit. And I want you to notice one more number, because it explains everything else. The warranty on most of these budget engines is 2 years, not 5, not 10. 2. The engineers are not fools. They can build an engine to last 2 years and 1 season, and that is exactly what the purchasing meeting asks them to build, because every dollar of durability past the warranty date is a dollar the company spent for nothing. Your grandfather's mower was built before anyone thought that way. It was built by people who assumed you would own it until you died and then hand it to your son, and the iron inside it proves it. I have a 1979 Briggs flathead on my bench right now, in for its first carburetor rebuild in 47 years. 47 years, 1 repair. The compression still reads within spec of the day it left the factory. Set that next to Dale's 26-month-old engine with a hole where the connecting rod used to be, and tell me the companies forgot how to build things. They did not forget. They remembered something worse, which is that a mower that lasts forever only gets bought once. So when you see a wall of mowers at the store and half of them carry the same engine, your brain says, popular means good, millions sold, must be trustworthy. But flip that around. The most popular engine is simply the cheapest engine that a deck maker could bolt on and still put a familiar name on the sticker. Popular does not mean proven. Popular means it won the bid. And here's the part that took me years to see. The part I want you to write down. On a modern cheap engine, the feature they advertise the loudest is usually the exact thing that kills it. I will show you what I mean. The old engines, like the one on my father's 1988 machine, had a cast iron sleeve inside the cylinder, iron piston ring surface, built to wear for decades. Heavy, expensive, boring. Nobody put it in an ad. The new budget engines run the piston directly against bare aluminum, because aluminum is cheap and light, and aluminum bores do not forgive anything. One season of dirty oil, one summer of running a half-quart low, and that cylinder wall is scored like a skating rink in February. The old engines had oil drain plugs, and the manual told you, in plain language, change the oil every 25 hours. The new ones tell you something that sounds like a gift. Never change the oil. Just check it and top it off. Forever. Think about that. An engine that burns and dirties its oil like every engine ever made. And the sticker tells you to leave that oil in there for the life of the engine. It is not a lie, exactly. It is a trick of wording. The oil will last the life of the engine because the life of the engine is now 3 years. They did not extend the oil. They shortened the life. Free maintenance is expensive, and expensive iron is cheap. That is the counterintuitive truth at the middle of this whole video. The $60 difference between the throwaway engine and the good one is the cheapest $60 you will ever spend outdoors. So let us name names, because you did not come here for philosophy. Here is how you shop, step by step, and the 3 engines I want you to walk past. Step 1, I call it reading the engine, not the deck. Ignore the brand on the mower. Ignore the deck, the wheels, the cup holder, the paint. Kneel down and read the sticker on the engine cowling itself, the model and series stamped right on the blower housing. That is the machine you are actually buying. The deck is just furniture. The trick here, the thing worth rewinding for, is to take a photo of that engine model number and search it with the word problems before you pay. 5 minutes in the store parking lot has saved my customers more money than everything else in this video combined. Step 2, the first engine to avoid, and it hurts me to say it. The Briggs & Stratton EXI series with the Just Check and Add Promise on the sticker. The 675 EXI, the 725 EXI, the whole family you see on push mowers in the $300 to $400 range. Briggs made wonderful engines for 100 years, and their commercial stuff is still good, so this is not a brand problem. It is this specific budget line, aluminum bore. A tiny oil sump about 15 ounces, roughly what fits in a soda can. No oil drain plug on most of them, and that sticker telling you the oil never needs changing. Here is what I see in the shop. 2 seasons in, the engine starts sipping oil. The owner never checks it because the sticker said not to worry. The little sump runs dry in the middle of a July afternoon, and an air-cooled engine with 15 ounces of capacity does not limp when it runs dry. It seizes. You can hear it coming if you know what to listen for. A dry rattle for the first 2 seconds after a cold start. That is the piston slapping a worn aluminum bore before the oil reaches it. A puff of blue smoke when you mow uphill or turn hard. That is oil sneaking past rings that were never meant to last. When a customer describes either of those on the phone, I already know what sticker is on the cowling before the truck pulls in. And I will confess it now. This is the engine I bought 11 years ago. I read the Just Check and Add sticker, and even knowing what I know, some tired part of my brain thought, well, maybe they finally cracked it. They had not cracked anything. They had just moved the cost from the price tag to the 3rd summer. The trick, if you already own one, is simple. Ignore the sticker completely. Check the oil every single mow, and change it every 25 hours anyway, by tipping the mower on its side, carburetor and air filter facing up, always up, and draining it out the fill tube. Costs you $1 of oil and 10 minutes, and it will double the life of that engine. Step 3, the second engine to avoid. The Kohler Courage single cylinder, the SV series, the SV470 up through the SV620, which lived on thousands of budget riding mowers. Kohler builds the command line, which I would put on my own equipment tomorrow. The Courage single is a different animal that happens to wear the same name. The block was built light, and the known failure, the one every small engine mechanic in the country has seen, is the head working loose and the block cracking right where the cylinder meets the crankcase. When it lets go, it sounds like that hammer in a coffee can that Dale described in my parking lot. That was his engine. These engines went out by the hundreds of thousands on budget riders from the mid-2000s on, machines wearing all kinds of familiar deck names, which is why I keep telling you the deck name means nothing. Same deck, same paint, same year, and one has a command twin that will run 20 years, while its brother has a Courage single with a countdown clock inside the block. The failure does not even warn you most of the time. The mower runs fine on Saturday, and on Sunday there is a crack in the casting and metal in the oil, and the man who owns it swears up and down that he changed the oil on schedule and treated it gently, and he is telling the truth. It was never about how he treated it. There is no fix worth doing. The block itself fails, so a repair means a new engine, $800 or more installed, on a mower worth $6. If you are shopping used riders, the trick is one glance. Pop the hood and look for the word courage on a single cylinder. If you see it, put your wallet away and keep walking, no matter how clean the deck is. Step 4, the third engine to avoid, and this one is the fastest growing. The house brand clone engines, sold under names like Mower and a dozen no-name stickers, built overseas and bolted onto budget riders and push mowers at prices that look like a misprint. Some of them actually run fine, and that is exactly the trap. The quality swings wildly from one engine to the next, so you are not buying a machine, you are buying a lottery ticket. But the real killer is parts. 3 years from now, when it needs a carburetor or a valve or an ignition coil, your local shop cannot get the part, or the part exists under 4 different numbers, and none of them cross-reference. I have had customers scrap runnable mowers because a $40 part could not be found. An engine you cannot fix is a disposable engine no matter how well it runs today. The trick here is to ask one question before you buy any mower. Can my local shop get parts for this engine in 5 years? If the salesman blinks, you have your answer. There is a second problem with the clones that nobody mentions, and that is the valves. Most of them ship needing a valve lash adjustment they never got at the factory, and a tight valve on a small engine means hard starting, backfiring, and eventually a burned valve seat. 15 minutes with a feeler gauge fixes it, but the manual does not tell you, the store does not tell you, and by the time the symptoms show up, the warranty conversation gets ugly. So what do you buy instead? On push mowers, a Honda GCV, the 160, 170, or 200, will outlast anything else in the residential aisle, and the commercial-grade Briggs XR and Vanguard engines are built the old way, with real bores and real sumps. On riders, the Kawasaki FR and FS series and the Kohler Command are what the landscaping crews run 60 hours a week, and there is a reason for that. The upgrade usually costs $60 to $150 over the throwaway option. Spend it. And whatever engine you own, run it on ethanol-free fuel if you can find it, or put a capful of Stabil in every can of regular gas, because ethanol eating carburetors from the inside is the second biggest killer I see, right behind those 3 engines. Now step back with me, because this is bigger than one purchase. The throwaway engine has quietly changed what a lawn mower is. It used to be a tool you bought once and maintained, like a good axe. Now it is a subscription you pay every 3 or 4 years, $400 at a time, and the old one goes to the curb. I watch the trucks haul them past my shop every spring. Whole rows of mowers with perfect decks and dead engines. 30 pounds of aluminum and steel headed to a landfill because of an $11 decision in a purchasing meeting years ago. Multiply that by the millions of mowers sold every year, and you start to see the size of it. It is money out of your pocket, on a schedule, forever. And it is mountains of scrap that never needed to exist. Run the numbers over 20 years. The throwaway path costs you a new $400 mower every 3.5 years. Call it 6 machines, $2,400, plus 6 Saturday mornings wasted shopping, and 6 trips to the curb. The other path costs you one good machine at $500 or $600, $1 of oil every 25 hours, a plug and a filter every spring, maybe one real repair somewhere in the middle. Under $800 total for 2 decades of mowing, and at the end of it, you still own a machine worth selling. And here is a secret about the used market while we are at it. Because most buyers shop the deck and not the engine, estate sales and yard sales are full of 20-year-old mowers with excellent engines priced at $50, sitting right next to 3-year-old mowers with dead engines priced at $100. The crowd fights over the shiny one. Let them. My father had a saying in his shop, and after 31 years, I have never once seen it proven wrong. Nobody ever scrapped a mower because the deck wore out. It is always the engine. So buy the engine, and let the deck come along for the ride. That one sentence is worth more than every mower review ever written. Here is what I want you to do tonight, before you forget. Walk out to your garage, kneel down next to your own mower, and read the engine sticker. Find the model. Then pull the dipstick and look at the oil, the level, and the color. If it is low, top it off. If it is black as coffee, change it this week, 25 hours or not, whatever any sticker says. 10 minutes, flashlight in your teeth, and you will know more about your machine than you did this morning. Then come back here and tell me in the comments what engine you found under your hood and how old it is. I read every comment, all of them, and the engine survey from this channel is honestly better data than anything the manufacturers publish, because it comes from real yards, not a lab. If you found one of the 3 I named tonight, say so, and I will tell you how to stretch what life it has left. Next time, I'm going to show you the $4 part, smaller than your thumb, that causes more no starts every April than everything else combined. Most shops will charge you $90 to replace it. It takes 8 minutes, 1 screwdriver, and no experience at all, and once you have done it, you will never push a dead mower to the shop again. Until then, check your oil, walk past the sticker that promises you freedom from maintenance, and remember that the men who built engines with iron knew exactly what they were doing. We just stopped paying for it.